So, this is called semolina. So this isn't your typical flour that you would buy at your store, right? This is for pasta making. What we do with semolina, the reason why semolina is for pasta, it has a higher protein, so it has a harder crust after it's baked, right? We also make all-purpose flour, and we do a pastry flour, cake flour, and a baker's flour, and whole wheat flour. So we do 5 different flours here, which is pretty rare that one mill will do such a wide variety. In a industry standard, one mill will do one type of flour, and that's what it sticks with, and it doesn't change. So that makes us very unique in that we do so many different types of things, and so it's really cool that we can have that experience. So we went across this side, right? The first time the wheat goes through the mill, and then this section right here is all the biggest pieces from this group that goes through the next row, right? And as you can see, it kind of gets broken down a little bit more. So essentially what our goal is in milling is we're trying to separate it's called the endosperm, which is the inside of the wheat from the bran, and that's what this separation is. So this is all the good inside of the wheat, and this is all of the bran, the outer side of it. Okay, so as we're going across this side, we're trying to separate everything off of the bran, and we really don't care about the size too much. We're just trying to get that off. And then after we accomplish that, everything that is off of the bran, we'll go through different size rollers to make sure that we go down to the right size to achieve this. So if you feel this with your fingers, you can tell that it's pretty granular, right? This is about the consistency of your cream of wheat, if you've ever had that or not. And so now compared to that one, you can tell that it, just from one pass through our roll stand, it actually breaks it down quite a bit.
Does it feel softer just because it's smaller, or is
yeah?
Okay.
Just because it's smaller. There's a little bit of flour inside of it, right? Our goal is to not achieve flour with this stuff. So there's a little bit of flour in this one because it hasn't gone through a sifter yet.
So
but
this is finer than this?
Yes. Most of this will come here, but this has a lot more finer stuff that hasn't gone through that. Like right in here, right, you can see that there's some really fine stuff in there. That also has just come straight out to semolina.
And so would this actually be used for cream of wheat?
If it was, so this wheat is called durum. If it was a different type of wheat, it would be used as cream of wheat. But durum is so specific for making pasta that it wouldn't be used for that.
And is cream of wheat similar to grits?
Yes,
Oh.
I think so. I think grits is more of a corn grain instead of a wheat. So that's pretty much the milling process. If we were to do all-purpose flour or something, we would see more of. We would go down further and having kind of a sandy texture. We'd go all the way to flour. But because of the way that pasta is made, it needs to be in a granular state like this, and so that's where we try to achieve it. We don't go much further than that.
So if this is for pasta, what happens to all this?
So essentially all of this turns into this, right? This is the end point of all of this. The bran will be shipped out to make cattle feed for the church farm, and so that way it still gets used and we don't have to make a loss off of that. And then all of this gets sent over to make pasta.
And so is that the same kind of bran that's in like bran flakes and like fibers? Okay.
Yeah.
And where do they grow that?
So different types of wheat are grown in different areas of the United States. Durum is grown very well up in the northern parts, so Montana, a little bit in Oregon and Washington. Our hard red wheat or hard white wheat is grown more in Idaho and Utah, some places in Arizona. And our soft wheats, so our soft white wheat, we use that to make cake flour and pastry flour. That's grown in Idaho and Oregon, I think.
And are these church farms?
Yeah, these are church farms. So that's the cool thing, is that we get everything from the church farm. They supply us. They grow enough to supply us for the whole year. And we work with them We kind of tell them what our prediction is of what we'll need for the year, and they try to keep a 3 to 5 year supply of wheat for us, as well as other things that they decide to use. So that's pretty much the milling process.
So I guess I thought all the church grown stuff came to these types of places. What else would they do with it?
Depending on, so some of the wheat that doesn't get used, if we hold on to it long enough, eventually they'll sell it to the market and just let somebody else use it. Or they'll turn it into cattle feed or something like that. If it's beans and stuff, they'll do the same thing, right? We package beans. So they'll bring them in and we'll package those. If we don't package all of them and their supply gets too big, then they'll just sell it out to the market.
And so will they sell it in like the raw form, or let it go through the mill then sell it?
They'll sell it in the raw form.
Well, I didn't realize we made that much.
Yes, we make a lot. And I will show you how much we store on hand. This year we've gone through about, I want to say it was 25 million pounds of wheat.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy year, but we've done that for about the past 3 years. We've gone through that much since COVID. So,
Wow.
any other questions about
Not that I can think of.
milling? Cool. Then